All right, quick test. This little cup, this full cup, is your calendar on Monday morning. Energy, plans, confidence, maybe even optimism if you slept more than 4 hours. And this empty cup, that's what many people feel like 2 hours before a deadline. Have you ever noticed how deadlines change from behavior? Suddenly, people who ignore emails for 3 weeks become Olympic sprinters. Folks discover the reply all button, like an archaeologist recovering the last treasure. And here's the strange thing: deadlines are not only about time, they reveal habits, focus, avoidance, confidence, fear, sometimes all before lunch. I learned this years ago watching healthcare workers turning high pressure shifts that people who survived emotionally were not always the smartest or the fastest. They're often the people who could stay calm long enough to do the right next thing, not the next 15 things, just the next right thing. Because panic makes giant pictures, but confidence likes small steps. When people miss deadlines, it's often not because they're lazy. Sometimes they're overwhelmed by perfectionism. Sometimes they're mentally multitasking, 17 conversations while trying to finish one meaningful project. And sometimes they spend so much time worrying about the outcome that they never fully enter the work itself. And honestly, I think we probably have all done that. You start the clock stares back. Now you're both stressed out. That empty cup that I showed you earlier, most people try to refill it with pressure, more caffeine, more guilt, more self criticism. But sustainable performance usually comes from clarity, not chaos. One task, one paragraph, one phone call, one difficult conversation, one final edit. Momentum is incredibly powerful. A train moving 1 mile an hour is easier to steer than one frozen on the track. So if you're chasing a deadline right now, stop asking, how do I finish everything? And instead ask, what is the next meaningful step that I can complete in the next 10 minutes? The question changes everything. And when you finally hit that deadline, do not just celebrate the outcome, respect the discipline that it took to keep moving forward through distraction, doubt, and exhaustion, because they're all competing for your attention. So tonight, pick one unfinished thing that you have been avoiding and move it forward before bed, not perfectly, only forward. One important area has been keeping you from overthinking, and begin. Remember, momentum matters, leadership mindset, beat the blues today, personal growth for you to be a success.